your host, Dr. Amanda, and you're in the right place if you're a coach, expert, or business owner who's ready to learn law of attraction strategies to align your energy, mindset, and habits to manifest rapid business growth. Oh, yeah. And today we're talking holidays because this time of the year can be very stressful, very specifically to entrepreneurs in unique ways. And so I'm going to give you some action steps to help you stay high vibe through the holidays to achieve business success. And in the middle, I'm going to share with you an invitation to hang out with me. So make sure you stick around. All right, let's get to today's episode. I want you to question this. What would it look like to stay high vibe during the holidays to achieve your business goals or business success? What would it look like to stay high vibe? This has you questioning also, how do I actually feel during the holidays? Is it a time of stress for you? Is it a time of excitement? Do you feel guilt and overwhelm? In that way where you go, oh, I should be hanging out with my family, but I've got so much business stuff to do. Or when you're working on your business, you're thinking, I should be hanging out with my family. Or there's just, this end of the year coming. And so you think, oh, wow, I have a little bit of conflict about achieving my goals mixed with the holiday expectations of slowing down and relaxing and spending time with my family. I really think that's the reason why entrepreneurs can get stressed around the holidays, because they put a lot of expectations on themselves and they tend to not be as present as they could be because of that guilt piece. I hear this from entrepreneurs all the time. I have a really challenging time taking breaks without feeling guilty. And so this guilt just runs amok in their business and in their personal life. So whether you have kids or family, partner, friends, whoever it is you're hanging out with, you feel like, oh shit, I should be hanging out doing my work instead of relaxing with my friends. But then when you're working, you think, oh no, my relationships aren't getting what they need. And so there's this competing commitment and a divide within yourself, and it creates inner conflict. And you've heard me say many times that when you have inner conflict, you're creating resistance, which is going to cause you to be lower vibe, and it's going to push away success. So when we think about this in our businesses, I want you to start to play with this question. What if it's possible to have the holidays be the most high vibe time of the year? What if it's possible to have the holidays be the most high vibe time of the year? This is a really powerful question because I think that a lot of people see the holidays coming. We see the months going by, and after Halloween hits, we go, oh dear, we're moving into the holidays. What's this going to feel like this year? And especially if you've had years in the past where you felt really overwhelmed. I know for me, I had a year, this was quite a long time ago, and it was actually when I was doing a real estate investment business and being a stay-at-home mom, homeschooling my kids. I got really sick on Christmas Day. And then the next day, I had a friend show up unexpectedly and she left, and I had like a mental breakdown. I was crying and stressed. It was extreme burnout, and I hadn't really experienced it like that before. And it was just like I had this idea that I was going to have a down day and a day alone and a day to rejuvenate after the holidays. And she showed up and spent several hours. And at the time, I wasn't a person who was able to say no and just be like, hey, I had this day planned for myself. I need some space. Could you come back another day? She just showed up unexpectedly. And it was so sweet. She brought me a gift. And it was like I couldn't say no to it. And I had a mental breakdown afterwards. And it's caused me since then to really consider my own energy around the holidays, my own boundaries, how to take care of myself, how to not overdo it. And, in this version of business that I'm doing now, obviously I'm not a real estate investor anymore, and I'm building a coaching business, and coaching businesses can be a high stress time or a high vibe time during the holidays because, this is a time of year when people are gearing up for setting themselves up for success for next year. And so for me, it's a big influx of business often in December and November. And I love that. And I've created structures to help me have it be fun and flowing and easy. And I'm going to teach that to you. So let's think about this. So go back to that question. What if it's possible to have the holidays be the most high vibe time of the year? I want you to think about the power of these 5 things. First, the power of conscious intention. So you heard what I said. You get what you expect. Okay. So if you're moving into the holidays and you're thinking, oh my God, this is the most stressful time of year, you've already set the expectation for that, and you're going to get what you expect because you're the creator of your reality. So if you think that the holidays are going to be filled with stress and overwhelm and burden, and you go, oh, I'm just going to feel guilty and torn, then that's what you're going to get. That's what you're creating consciously and unconsciously. And so you want to ask yourself, am I stressed during the holidays? And if I am, how am I going to reframe that so I can get a different outcome this year? And I'm going to give you some action steps tied to each of these at the end. So, think about the power of conscious intentions. To just start considering, how am I thinking about the holidays? Am I thinking of them as an excited time of the year where I get to be high vibe and feel good? And really, that high vibe goodness during the holidays would look like you working less and continuing to grow your business successfully. So it could be work less, make more. It could be work less, let things flow. It could be work less and enjoy and trust and know that you're going to keep scaling, that kind of thing. And I will say that if you've built momentum in the past and you have systems in place, you're not going to lose momentum over the holidays. You taking a break is actually a very good thing because it raises your vibrational frequency and you step back with power and poise and confidence and law of attraction, magnetism for all the good stuff. So, the way that you intend the holidays to go is going to be what you create. If you're dreading hanging out with certain people or you're dreading going gift shopping, why don't you change who you hang out with? Or why don't you change the structure of the shopping? A couple years ago, we all decided to start doing white elephant we have a big family and we'd all get together, and it was kind of stressful to get presents for everybody. The time, the money, some people were like, wow, that's a real stretch for me financially. And then for some of us, it was just time. It was like, whoa, this is a lot of time to think about presents. And so we decided, let's just do a white elephant. That's fun. And we put a cap on it. And then let's do a secret Santa. And that meant that we only needed to buy 2 presents per person. And that made things simple and easy and really fun. So think about how you can change what you're doing, Thanksgiving, whatever holidays you celebrate. I know not everybody celebrates each of these holidays, but whatever you do celebrate, consider how you can change it up to have it be less stressful. Set the intention for it to be fun. How could it be fun? Now, next, think about the power of presence. And I'm not talking presents that you unwrap, presents like being in the present moment. So remember, guilt and shame are the 2 lowest vibrational frequencies. When you're stuck in a feeling of guilt, you are vibing very low. And it's telling you already that you are not present. Because remember, when you're in a present state, that's where all your power lies. That's where you manifest from. So you can be feeling guilty in the present moment. But if you're truly present and you're in a state of, let's say, gratitude for the holidays and excitement about it, then you can't have 2 different feelings that are pure at the same time. So let's say you're 100% feeling gratitude, and it's almost like you have tears of gratitude falling out of your eyes because you're thinking about your family, your friends, whoever it is that you're going to spend time with, and you're thinking about, oh, that sounds so great and heartwarming and heart fulfilling. You can't have guilt at the same time as pure presence and pure joy and pure love. So remember, if you're feeling guilty, already you're out of the present moment, because what you're doing is you're thinking about how you should be doing something else. That's what guilt is. I should have done something else, or I should be doing something else. That's guilt. And so when you're feeling guilty, you're not in the present moment. And so presence is powerful. Guilt is draining, and it causes you to be very low vibe. So if during the holidays when you're working and you're feeling guilty, you are pushing away success. So you might as well take a break and do something different. And the challenge here is that then when you take the break, if you feel guilty, you're just perpetuating this cycle. And it's creating a downward growth cycle instead of an upward growth cycle. Whereas if you were present and powerful and you just decided, hey, I'm going to compartmentalize my day and my time during the holidays. I'm going to plan ahead. I'm going to take care of myself. And then I'm going to cut it off at a certain time. I'm going to hang out with my family and friends or whoever's in your life that you want to spend time with. And I'm going to feel present in each of these spaces and each of these different tasks or, events that I'm doing. And I'm going to consciously choose to be present. Then you will feel completely different and you will raise your vibe so you can achieve business success more easily. Now, the third one here is the power of focus, okay? Part of the reason that entrepreneurs get so freaked out during the holidays is because there's so much on the plate, and this is done by you. No one put all that stuff on your plate. You did it to yourself. So you really must start narrowing your focus to expand your freedom. And when I say in this case, narrow your focus to expand your freedom, we're really talking about your freedom of feeling good in the moment. We're talking about your freedom of enjoying the holidays, which could be a time of the year that's the most high vibe, that's the most connected, that's the most meaningful, powerful for you. It could be an awesome time of the year, just like every other day, really. For me, I go like, hey, what if the holidays was the most high vibe time of the year? What if every month, every day was the most high vibe time of the year and my life was just awesome? That's what we want, right? We want to be high vibe, work less, make more, have fun. And when I say that, work in your zone of genius, enjoy every day, expand your fullest potential, and create freedom of life, of time, of business, of money, of everything. Create freedom for yourself, whatever that looks like to you. And that means that you must learn to embody and know how to implement the power of focus. And that means narrowing your focus. So you really want to ask yourself, what's important right now? What can I drop? What's the best use of my time? You know, when you're asking these questions during the holidays and you're narrowing your focus, I think typically entrepreneurs would want to take stuff off their plates. We tend to put way too much, probably too many parties, too many gift exchanges, too many drinks, too many, things that drain your energy somewhat. I know that going out and partying can be very fun, but you want to be conscious of the focus and the intention and the presence. If you are over drinking to deal with the stress, then that's going to lead you to feel drained the next day, which then causes you to have more emotional volatility, which then causes you to feel guilty, and on the cycle goes. So it's just little things like that. How can you narrow your focus and get really intentional? And in the narrowing of the focus, when you're asking, what can I drop? It's, is it a party? Is it a habit that you have that's not leading to success? Maybe it's overeating for you, or overeating sugar or something, and that's causing you to feel low vibe and beat yourself up. Anything that you do that causes you to beat yourself up is going to create a lower vibrational frequency. And so I'm not saying this because, drinking or eating sugar is wrong. It's a neutral thing. It's how you interact with it and how you feel about it. So if for you, the question, what can I drop, leads you to think, well, maybe I could adjust my diet a little bit, or the amount that I drink, or how late I stay up, or who I'm hanging out with. What can I drop might be hanging out with certain people. It's unique to you. I can't answer this for you. This is unique to you. And I know, these are questions I ask myself when I'm looking into the power of focus and I'm getting more focused and more intentional. I always think, what's the most important thing right now? What can I drop? And what is the best use of my time and energy and money? I'll ask myself those questions. What's the best use of my time? What's the best use of my money? What's the best use of my energy? The question for time for entrepreneurs is incredibly powerful because during the holiday season, you want to be thinking, what is my highest ROI activity I can be doing during the holidays to magnetize bigger and bigger success? And dependent on your business, some businesses have a lull during the holidays. Some businesses have massive growth during the holidays. So you've got to know your business model and what that looks like for you. For me, I have the opportunity to attract people before the end of the year. I usually have a lot of people join my programs before the end of the year. So my Inner Power Entrepreneur Group Coaching Program grows because people are looking for, what am I going to do next year to be the most successful I can be? And so for me, I make very conscious choices to make sure that I am focused on that, focused on reaching the right people at the right time in the right way that's going to attract them to my business during the holidays. Okay. Now the fifth one is the power of win-win relationships. I want you to consider, what if this is the best time of the year for you to meet new people and create new win-win connections for your business? That is absolutely possible, right? It's a great reason to connect with people in new and different ways during the holidays. And win-win relationships are a staple and a characteristic of highly successful businesses. And what I mean by that is that you're giving value and they're receiving value as well. And you have equivalent exchange in your relationships. This could look like win-win exchanges in your family during the holidays. It could look like you spending time and being present and deciding that it's okay to stop working and not guilt yourself, and just being present with your family. This could look like when you're doing your work, you're being so strategic with your focus and your intention and your time that you don't feel guilty when you're working, and your family knows that, oh, hey, when mom or dad or brother, sister, or friend comes back, they're going to be present with me because they've consciously chosen to be present and create win-win relationships. I know a lot of you are entrepreneurs who don't have friends or family that are entrepreneurs, and so sometimes you feel siloed in that way. That means that you really want to hang out with me. One thing I'm doing during the holiday season is this is so exciting, big announcement, is inviting you to join the Inner Power Entrepreneur Facebook group. So exciting. Here's why. This is a win-win relationship. I want to bring value to you there. I want to get to know you. I want to understand how the podcast is impacting you. I want you to be able to hang out with other people who are following the podcast. We've had huge growth, and I'm really excited to grow this community. And it's the first time in my career that I've been deeply inspired to start a Facebook group. I've done a few and I've tested it and I couldn't get myself into it. And a lot of it is that I haven't been a person who's followed Facebook groups and I didn't really have a strong why. And I'm realizing that now because this is the first time I'm really inspired to start a Facebook group. I haven't felt this way before. And I realize it's because you all are showing me that you are enjoying the podcast. And I love engaging with my people. You know, in my Morning Routine for Entrepreneurs program and my group coaching program, we have a lot of engagement every day on an app, and I love it. It's one of my favorite parts is that I know that I'm making a difference. I know that you're getting value. I can help you. And so I want the Facebook group to be that. We're going to do podcast releases and tips and community shares, and there'll be a spot for you to ask questions, and then I can answer them on the podcast. So just go to the Facebook, go to Facebook and go to groups and type in Inner Power Entrepreneur. So Inner Power Entrepreneur is the group. I would love to see you there. Okay, so back to why I said this here. It's the power of win-win relationships, equivalent exchange, giving value, sharing love, sharing connection, sharing our skills, our gifts. You want to be doing this in every relationship that you have. And how can you have this be the best time of the year to create win-win connections in both your personal and professional life? And so for me, I look at this as a great time of the year to start a Facebook group because, hey, it's the holiday season. I want to spread the joy, spread the wealth, spread the skills, spread the love, and just get to know you. So hang out with me there and think about how you can implement this in your business. Is it going to more networking events for the holidays and talking to people? Maybe that's not your jam and that doesn't sound good to you. Then maybe it's online communities. Maybe it's unplugging completely from those things. You've got to know yourself and know, what does creating win-win relationships look like for me in my zone of genius in ways that feel aligned, and do that. Okay. Next, the power of love. The power of love. So this is the fifth one. I might have said the last one was the fifth, but this is actually the fifth one. So the power of love. I want you to consider when you were a kid what the holidays felt like to you. I know for me, it was my favorite time of the year. Like, it's making my eyes fill up with tears thinking about it because I looked forward to Thanksgiving and Christmas every year. I loved it because we would get together with family and we would eat good foods and we'd watch movies and play games and hang out, and I freaking loved it. Like, I loved everything about it. And so I want you to go back to that childlike place for you. If the holidays were a time of the year that you really enjoyed, if they weren't, then this might feel different to you. And then what I want you to think about is, from today forward, how can you create it as a space of powerful love and open your heart? Let's say it was a great time of the year for you. Go back to that and be childlike. And I wrote in my notes, be childlike, not childish. Childish would look like, poor me, I'm overwhelmed and I don't know what to do and I feel stressed out and I feel like a victim during the holidays. Childlike is opening up to your heart, enjoying, being present, being creative, being in flow. Children tend to be much more in flow and present in love. We lose that as we age because we get all these masks and all these stressors and all these responsibilities, and it turns us into sometimes Grinches. And it doesn't need to be that way, right? So go back to this place of childlike love and love the people in your life. Love yourself more during the holidays. Love the people in your life. Love your clients and customers and love your family and appreciate the gifts of the holidays. I mean, it's really what it's about. You know, Thanksgiving for me, I'm Native American, so there's certain issues I have with Thanksgiving, but I don't think about that. I just think, hey, I get to hang out with my family all day and love them. And we eat and we laugh and we cry and we play games and we do whatever we want, and it's fun. And I love it. And I look forward to it. I don't have one moment of thinking about, I should be at the computer doing my work. Like, no way. I send all of you love, but I don't really think about you during the holidays because I'm hanging out in the present moment with the people I'm with. Of course I send you love. It's in my mind in great ways where it's like, At the table, we always go around and say what we're thankful for. And I always say, like, I'm grateful for the life that I have. I love my life, and that includes you. And so that's the place you want to get back to. You want to get back to this childlike place of joy, not childish way of reacting to your surroundings and thinking you're a victim. That's childish. That's you throwing a tantrum. That's not high vibe. That's not going to lead to your success, okay? So I'm going to give you some really clear action steps related to these 5 things. So number 1, set your conscious intention right now for the holidays. I want you to get really clear. What do you choose the holidays to be like for yourself, for your business? Set your conscious intention today. I want you to write this down, and I want you to look at it every morning, and I want you to get present with it and know it and decide that you are the creator of your reality and you get to set the conscious intention for the holidays. You're not a victim of the holidays. Number 2, be present and practice self-care, okay? So be present. This looks like meditating, journaling, breathing, using my inner power formula to recognize, reframe, and repeat to reprogram when you notice you're not being present. And always remembering that you manifest from the present moment, and guilt kills magnetic high vibe attraction. So if you're feeling guilty or freaked out or overwhelmed, you're not present and you're attracting crap instead of the high vibe awesomeness of success that I know that you consciously want. So be present. Do what it takes to get present. Number 3, to focus, ask yourself these 3 questions. What's most important right now? What's the best use of my time? And what can I drop? What's the most important right now? Or what's most important right now? What's the best use of my time? And what can I drop? This will help you narrow your focus and not be so overwhelmed. Number 4, to create win-win relationships. Brainstorm ways to connect with your current community and network with new people during the holidays. And add the personal layer. How can you enjoy hanging out with your family? That's a really important part too. So when you're creating win-win relationships in business, just brainstorm ways to connect, like the Facebook group that I'm adding. Is there something you can do to connect with your people more? So brainstorm ways to connect with your current community and then network with new people, if networking's your thing. And then think about how you can create win-win relationships with your family. How can you be grateful? How can you be present? How can you set boundaries? That kind of thing. Number 5, to awaken the power of love. Awaken the power of love. I love that. Be a kid again. Open your heart. Laugh and love more. Be playful. Go sledding. Or maybe you live in a warm area. Do something fun. Go swimming. Skip. Ride a bike. Like, do something that's really fun that makes you feel like a little kid. Go ice skating, or whatever it is that just makes you feel like a little kid again, do that, because to me, that's going to tap you back into that childlike innocence of love and joy and fun around the holidays, instead of it being like, oh God, here comes the holidays. I better brace for the storm. We don't want that. We want you to be high vibe, in love with yourself, in love with the life and business that you're creating, loving that. Part of the gift of being an entrepreneur is that you get to hang out with your family as much as you want during the holidays. I love that part of being an entrepreneur. I can choose when to stop working because it's my business, my company, my rules, my decisions. That's a gift. Don't beat yourself up about that. Embrace the power of it. All right, make sure you go to Inner Power Entrepreneur for Facebook groups. Hang out with me there. And until next time, I'm sending you giant holiday hugs and inner power high fives.